Say that 3 times fast.
Lackadaisical.
You got it.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Phonics are on point right now.
Always wanted to make my 12-year-old self think I was cool.
I don't do things like this often, so this is an experience indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Save the best for last.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Welcome back to part 2 of our conversations with MTSU. This episode we have 13 convos, 12 with students, and 1 with a professor. But without further ado, sit back, relax, and subscribe as you watch this episode of Convos with MTSU.
Thank you for coming on the pod.
Anytime.
What's your name?
Sean Williams.
Okay, nice to meet you, Sean. So,
Nice to
what do
meet
you do here at MTSU?
I'm a communications major, and I'm a part of the esports club.
Okay. Esports. Oh, I didn't. So, how is the esports? I've always wondered, how's the esports club like here?
It's pretty fun. You know, I joined last year, but this year we actually have an arena that's built in the student union, so it's really cool.
I saw that getting built, or they were about to build it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy. So is that what you want to do, pursue for your career?
No. Before I came to school, I used to compete in Halo semi-professionally, and so, I went to community college before that, and so I don't do that anymore. So now I'm at a university, and in terms of what I want to do is, I want to work in supply chain management, and I want to work in the procurement field because it's like negotiating contracts and stuff, and I feel like that's something that's up my alley.
Oh, that's crazy, because I know a lot of people who would say that that's not up their alley, the monotonous sometimes of all the contracts. But that's cool that you want to do that. Why specifically?
It's like talking to people and connecting, and I feel like understanding and conversations is something I was gifted with.
Well, communications, I mean, you got that down too, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, what year are you?
I'm a junior currently.
Okay.
So, after this last year,
Be a senior. Congratulations. You're almost there.
Yeah, almost.
How's that feel to be almost done?
I don't know. It's weird because I know I'm going to miss college because all my friends live in different areas. Most of them live in Memphis, which is 5 hours from me.
Yeah.
And so classwork wise, it's not the best, but I just think I'm gonna miss the community.
Yeah. I'm about to graduate next week. So
okay.
Yeah, so I feel what you're talking about. The one thing I think I'll miss the most, and this sounds cliche, I guess, I don't know, but to miss the people and the different types of people. I mean, being here today, just seeing all the different people is beautiful, because it just shows how diverse our community is here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's fantastic, because it would be so boring talking to the same person, the same type of person
100%
every day. Man, but I'm glad.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about esports is because the lab's open to any student, and so I work there, so it's gonna be random days where a student's just interested, and everyone has a different variety of games that they play, and then there's sometimes you're gonna see someone that plays a random obscure game that you play, and it's you can connect on that because it's not something you could see every single day.
For sure. I also had to ask one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Halo fan too. I'm a Halo nerd.
Oh, okay. Halo. All right, bet. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The current state of Halo isn't that great right now.
No, it's not. It's horrible. It's horrible.
How is that going to get? Do you think it's going to get better?
I wish, but honestly, I don't know. The game's mainly a competitive game at this point. The casual community, there's nothing really left of it. If I'm being honest, the content's pretty stale. Yeah. So I think the only thing that can happen is releasing a new game. Unfortunately.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Infinite, but I thought it could have been better.
It could have been better. Yeah. I can agree with that.
So where can people find you?
People could find me on Instagram, Sean Evan Will. It's one word, there's no spaces or anything. And then on Twitter if you want, or X, it's up to you. Promo SW, and yeah.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for coming on.
All right, thank you. Also, I have a question to ask you, actually.
Sure.
So, having this debate with friends, 100 humans versus 1 gorilla.
I've seen this on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen it too. What caliber of human?
Okay, so I was thinking just 100 random humans, right?
Yeah.
But I think the gorilla has to be an average gorilla as well.
Yeah.
Because like if you can't cherry pick one thing,
True.
like you should be able to cherry pick both sides. So.
Well, can I get like Harambe?
Harambe. I mean, yeah, I think you get
I
Harambe.
can get Harambe.
Yeah, who do you think's
100
winning?
guys. I think 100 guys.
100 guys.
I think.
I think the setting matters. It's like,
True.
are we in a Roman Coliseum with like no obstacles, just sand, or I said 100 people, but they're in the jungle.
Oh, that's a disadvantage. That's hometown advantage right there to the gorilla.
Yeah, and it's like hard to like have that many numbers with like trees and vines in the way, you know.
What about like a happy medium, like an Amazon packaging plant?
Okay, that's
because you got the stuff to climb on for the gorilla in terms of like the lines and stuff, but you also have like people there. 100 out of 100 of those people, probably 2 of them have worked at Amazon.
That's true. That's true. That's actually very true. So I still take the humans, honestly.
You take the humans,
but we're definitely losing at least like half the troops.
I think so. I think it depends on how peeved the gorilla is too. If he just watched Tarzan, he's toast. We're toast.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So thank you for coming on.
Of course.
What's your name?
My name is Amaya.
Okay, nice to meet you, Amaya. And we have a class together.
Yes, we do. Intro to fashion.
Yeah, fashion, which just ended. It's sad, but
I know. Professor Kwan was so cool.
She's very good. I want to get her on as a guest too. I think it would be fantastic.
We totally should.
So, what's your major?
I'm a music business major.
Okay, that's right. So why music business?
I've always grew up going to concerts in my high school yearbook. You can see me. I'm most likely to be at a concert. That's the one thing I won. And I'm also just really passionate about like developing people or artists who are first starting out and just finding a way to make them into their best form.
Yeah. It's great because a lot of artists need that too.
Just ended this week was the vice president of Match Records here on campus.
Dang.
It's the student ran record label here, and it switched from a class to a club. I think it was fall semester of last year, and I helped with setting up the bank account for it and everything. And we actually just had a show at the basement this past year that almost sold out. And there's also one of the new signed artists walking by right now.
You gotta be on the podcast.
This is David Vandelay. We're from Columbia, South Carolina together.
Oh shoot.
And yeah, he's one of the new Match Records artists. Check him out.
It's nice to meet you.
David Vandelay on Spotify.
Sorry, I hope that was
No,
okay.
you're good. You're good. That's fun.
It was perfect timing. But yeah, so I mean, people like him, like we're from the same hometown, so I really think it'd be cool to see what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I really want to go into booking and stuff like that, like for shows. I love live music. That's probably where it's at for me.
My mom works for Columbia State, and she does the event series there. And so like, she schedules out performers for a certain like 6 every quarter or whatever it is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and she has fun with that, and I think there's a certain energy that comes with concerts.
I agree.
I think and I've only been to like a few like actual concerts, but even so, like it's you don't get that anywhere else.
No, you don't. And I think, especially live music, I think just music in general, that's really a part of like a driving force for any sort of culture. If you look back anything that's happened over the time, one of the big driving forces is always like the music scene that kind of helps, boost a cause. And so I think that's also something very special about it,
For sure.
the authenticness of it.
Yeah. So obviously you're already accomplished with setting up a bank account as a college student. Where do you see your career going? Where would you want to be?
I would really love to either be a like tour manager or a concert buyer, like at a venue.
Yeah.
I would love to own my own venue, like by a beach town one day. I think that would be the goal, and then retire as a grandma that runs a record store.
That's a good because you like have your ending prepared for you.
Yeah, like I mean, imagine just chilling at the record store and then just going to the beach. Like that's all. I think that's what we're meant to do in life.
True, or like what if the record store's on the beach?
That, and then there's a stage for live music.
That would be cool.
And we have
That's
bands
cool.
there. That's.
I'm a dreamer. Like I love. My mom calls me an idea factory. I have constantly pumping out different random ideas. Like this is an idea.
And you're doing well with it.
I appreciate that. Orange. That's very orange and.
Go Tigers.
Well, I don't know if we're supposed to say that on MTSU campus, are we?
I don't know, but I am a Clemson fan, so go Tigers.
Okay, well, it's okay. We'll keep that in though. We'll keep it in. Freedom of speech. That's a good point.
But
Freedom
still,
of speech.
go Lightning, go Blue Raiders.
Yeah. Well, No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. Well, thank you, Amaya, for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
And it was a pleasure having you in class.
You too.
And some of your projects, I got to see some of your projects and the presentations you did, and they were fantastic. You did a great job.
Yours as well, and I'm ready to see where this goes. This has been a cool venture to see you kind of start up.
I know, it's fun. It became its own thing already, so it's fun. So.
Well, and everybody check out Match Records.
Yeah, that's right. So I was gonna ask, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's at @ANE_65.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's just a blast. Just to
You go to different campuses or just different spots.
This is the first campus, but I'm loving it so far. Like I would love to go to as many as possible.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it just highlights students and what they do too. So.
Do you usually stay in Murfreesboro when you do it?
No, it's usually Middle Tennessee in general.
Really?
Because I'm from Columbia, so we hopped from like Columbia, Franklin, here. I'm gonna go up to Nashville pretty soon. So just anywhere. We might even have an interview in Virginia. So
Really?
just going and seeing who wants to talk, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what is your name?
My name's Drew.
Nice to meet you. Drew.
I'm a lifeguard at the rec.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm also I am on the rugby team. I'm the treasurer. I'm affiliated with a academic fraternity on campus called Gamma, and that's about majority of what I do. It takes up a lot of my time.
That sounds busy. You sound like a busy man.
I am a busy man.
Yeah.
I am a busy man.
So you're on the rugby team. Do you play rugby or you're just the
I play rugby.
And you're the treasurer.
Yeah, I've played for. This is going to be my 3rd year.
Dang.
It's a fun sport. It's a lot of fun. Math and rugby doesn't really coincide though, so you got to pick one.
You do. Yeah. I can imagine. It's tough to balance that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you choose what you do here?
So I always wanted to play sports in college, and at first I was a wrestler all throughout my life, and then I kind of found rugby, kind of got burnt out, so I started playing rugby. High school, won a couple state championships, decided I'll go to MTSU for their actuarial program, and I'll just continue playing rugby there, and it's great. The guys are great. It's like a fraternity, but there's no pledging.
Okay, that's good.
Less dues too. It's like $50 a semester. Pretty nice. And I collect those $50. So,
okay.
That's my job.
Yeah.
And then, actuarial science is math, statistics, insurance, probability. So that led me into my academic fraternity, Gamma. And that's basically just a networking thing. I've loved networking ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a fun little thing to mess around and do.
For sure.
So I kind of want to get a better foot in the door. They have a 99% placement out of college.
It's really good.
So, I'm excited for that for sure.
I probably already know the answer to this, but what is your favorite thing that you do here? Is it the rugby?
It's not as easy as you would think.
Oh, really?
My favorite thing that I do here, there's another thing I didn't tell you about me.
Okay, what is it?
So I'm a sorority boyfriend. So my girlfriend is in a sorority.
Yeah.
And I, am always over there, and I'm always chatting and helping out. That's actually my favorite thing to do.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know what it is about it, but they're like, hey, we need a DD. I'm like, you got it.
Okay.
I don't, it's weird, but that's fun to me.
It's your calling. You fun?
Yeah, it's my calling, being a supportive boyfriend.
That's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's real king type beat.
Real king beat. Yeah. I think so. Well, you got a full, well-rounded schedule and
oh yeah, talk to everyone. I know everyone.
Talent skill. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
So when you get out of college,
you're
not going to be a sorority boyfriend for forever.
I won't be a sorority boyfriend.
What are you going to do after college?
Well, I'm definitely not going to play rugby anymore.
Yes.
My body is.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I plan to just go into actuarial science, become an actuary consultant. That's a big passion of mine. Is just kind of making money, and that's kind of all that they do.
Yeah.
I'd hope to get into real estate at some point.
Okay.
Just keep developing my physique, my body, and my mind. That's kind of what I'm here for, what I'm living for.
Dang. That's pretty good. That's a good answer right
Yeah.
there. What in schooling? What year are you?
So I'm a freshman. So I'm
Okay.
wrapping up the end of my freshman year.
Okay, well, congratulations. You're almost done with your first year.
I am.
1/4? 1/4 done.
Yeah, 1/4
Yeah,
done.
dang.
Very
It's
impressive.
crazy, man. It goes by quick, I bet. No,
It's
you
been a
don't.
very long, slow process.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I mean, you think about like how much you have to do in your freshman year, like especially getting into new organizations.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot of your time. So
Well, I guess I'm not as involved as you are from the sounds of it. So I can imagine that's where a lot of that comes from then.
yeah.
Dang.
I just feel like I have a larger time commitment. So this semester,
Yes.
this whole year has felt so long.
Yes.
Because I went from a little high school student.
Okay, yeah.
Literally this time last year.
Yeah.
Just went to, sport practice, went home and slept.
Yeah.
To like, oh, I have 5 things today I have to do and update my Google Calendar and submit documents. So.
Well, I think the thing I found, especially this semester, is that the more stuff I have to do, the quicker the day goes by. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's just like being so busy that you lose track of time and you just get things done. But that makes a lot of sense going.
I know
from
a lot
that
of
to
people
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first semester that's felt like that. I feel
Really?
Like. Yeah.
So
But
you feel like every semester has gone by pretty slow and this one's been really fast because you're busy?
well, I say each one I've gone by fast, but this one specifically because of the workload. I feel like this is the busiest I've been at all. Like my high school and my college, my college career. I'm graduating next week. So
awesome.
yeah. So
Congrats.
thank you, man. So it's been interesting to look back on like different semesters and see how fast they went in some others. I don't even remember some semesters. That's how crazy it's been. But yeah.
Has it gotten to the point to where it feels real yet? Like that you're gone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You feel like you're just like an adult now and you're just ready to be done with it?
I think so. I think I have to be.
Yeah.
I think I'm.
Sometimes I question myself. I'm like,
Really?
am I still just a high schooler on a college campus?
It takes time, I guess.
Yeah.
It takes time, and I think people know that, and they're understanding to that.
And you feel like you're ready to go on to that next step?
Yeah. I'm starting a videography business, so I'm going hard.
I know a couple of people who are in that industry, and I mean, they love it. They love what they do.
Yeah.
Like I think it's Macaroni Company.
Yeah.
Shout out Alex Bennett.
Okay.
That's my old wrestling coach, and he's one of the co-founders of the whole thing.
Oh, really?
And they make ads for like smaller kind of businesses, but I think they also made a Doritos ad recently.
Dang, that's pretty good.
And he just sits behind the camera all day, and I'm just like, dude, love that for you.
Yeah. I think talking about what you were saying with him, it's like me too. There's so many different things I can do.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. What I do like is making Doritos commercial like that. Like that would be fantastic. Like go from that to like cabinetry videos.
Oh, yeah. Like Doritos one day, music video the next.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, I think it's beautiful.
a diverse workload.
I think so too. And I think from the way you sound, you're gonna have a little bit of that too in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely I enjoy having different experiences.
Yeah.
I despise ecocentrism.
Okay.
Where it's like you just think your one culture is the only way to live it.
Yeah.
So I love mixing it up, doing
That's
different
cool.
things, like learning new experiences
Yeah.
that are outside of my own, like
Yeah.
being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
That's very explorative.
It's
of
like
you.
mixing it up, like
True.
music videos, Doritos, mac and cheese,
Mac and cheese.
whatever you want to do.
A melting pot of experience.
I think that's how you gotta live.
I think so. I think you only have one life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta diversify.
You do. That's important.
Mhm.
Well, where can people find you?
My Instagram is the True Breezy Boy.
Okay.
You can always find me at the MTSU rugby pitch Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8. It's our practices.
Fantastic.
Shout out Mooseman. Shout out Zeta. That's about all I got. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been fun. This is cool.
It's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to talk.
Thank you for coming on. What is your name?
I'm Dr. Jared Hollyfield.
Nice to meet you, Doctor. Well, I know you.
You
I
know
don't
me,
what I'm
right?
saying. Nice to meet you. I think I'm so used to saying nice to meet you now today, like for like 20 interviews or whatever we've had, that I just muscle memory at this point, I guess.
I think you can drop the formalities. That'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
So
So what exactly do you do on campus?
I am the program coordinator of the video and film major here at MTSU, and I teach in the film and video department.
Wow. So how'd you get started doing that?
I got started in print journalism in 2005, which
Wow.
was not the ideal time to start working in print journalism. and the major had just turned over into electronic media. That was a major. I decided to go ahead and go to grad school because the job market was a little iffy at that point. Glad I did, because everybody I graduated with was unemployed within 2 years because of all of the changes that happened in the newspaper industry and the magazine industry and all the upheaval. So I just kind of stuck with that and ended up in Louisiana when they had a lot of tax incentives. A lot of films were shooting down there, and got started making films as I got the rest of my degree, and then ended up, always loved Nashville, always wanted to come to the Nashville area. Got a job in Kentucky, and this job came up available, and it was close to my house, and I've always wanted to teach here, so.
It's great. And I'll just have to ask, how many films have you made?
I have been involved with about 10.
10, okay.
Directing, I've made about 3 myself. Okay. I did a web series a few years ago, so a lot of 10-minute episodes in that, and do a lot of producing, screenwriting, things like that as well. So I facilitate and help on a lot of other films. Just directing is not something you really get a lot of chance to do because it's so expensive, and you got to get the money to do it. So I do a lot of the other stuff in between.
So you're heading productions too is a lot more challenging than.
Yeah, it's a lot more challenging, and in some ways it's different kind of fun, but also really fun too.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember in class you were talking about just films being introduced through the Bell Corps up in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And have you had a bunch screened there that you've worked on?
I've not had any screened at the Bell Corps. I've had some films in the Nashville Film Festival, which back in the day when they were screening, the Bell Corps wasn't one of the venues.
Okay.
We have had some colleagues. We just had a really great screening by Professor Tom Neff up at the Bell Corps for this amazing documentary that he made. But
that's crazy.
I've not screened there. I've talked before films there. Eventually, I would like to screen there. It's a cool venue. I'm there pretty often and know the team there really well. They've got a great education program.
Well, I remember some of the extra credit you offered us was going to the Bell Corps and looking at the SNL reruns, I guess you could, not reruns, but re-screenings of
the rep screenings of all the SNL movies,
which I didn't get a chance to see, but I would have if I had lived closer, just a little bit closer.
Yeah, you're a little out there,
a little far.
Weird getting extra credit papers about Billy Madison.
But, it's fun though. It's fun. So, and this might be an unfair question, but what is your favorite thing to do, teaching or making films?
I don't really see them as that different.
Okay.
I see a lot of it as just sort of when you're teaching, you're staying current, you're getting ideas. One of the great things about teaching too is see students' careers develop. So great thing about MTSU as a program is that when faculty are working on professional projects, we actually get a little bit of financial support to try to employ a student. So I've got a grant to do a project now. There's a student that I've actually got as a camera assistant on that's in a paid position. So I kind of just see it all as one job. Yeah. And there's a thread running through all of that.
Dang, and also heading program coordinator. What does that entail?
Making the schedule. We do have the biggest film major in the state because this is the largest undergraduate institution in the state. So making sure that class times are there, that people aren't taking all the 400 level classes aren't at the same time, or there's classes people need that aren't at the same time as other ones, and making sure there's enough sections for everybody to graduate. So a lot of good work was done before I got here that I'm able to kind of stand on the shoulders of. But
it's great when you don't have to build a program.
Yeah, I have been in that position before.
Oh, really?
It's not always the easiest thing.
Yeah,
I think it's hard. People think film is less expensive than it actually is.
I can imagine.
So, asking for the money and sort of justifying what you do and all that kind of stuff can be kind of terrible. So I mean, the fact that all of this stuff is already here and already functioning really well is helpful to that position.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I can imagine too, talking about funding, you see these companies like Disney and everything that have a bajillion, gillion, quadrillion dollars, but when you're making an independent film, how does the process of getting donors and getting people to fund your project, how is that?
There's a lot of different ways to do it, and it really does depend on the film. I'm never really a big fan of crowdsourcing, especially now that the SEC guidelines have changed in 2015. So you used to have a certain amount of net worth to be able to invest in a movie.
Yeah.
And varied portfolios and all of that. And now people can do that. I don't like the crowdfunding model just because you don't really give people that much in return. I mean, I've contributed to campaigns before, projects that I've supported and believed in. But it's just not my favorite thing. It's not something I like to do for my own projects. Okay. So some of it is grants, some of it is tax incentives, which Tennessee's got some really great tax incentives. They you spend over $250,000, they basically write you a check for a quarter of that back for your Tennessee expenditures. Another thing is, depending on what you're doing and if it's in a good light, you can do some product placement.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you've got a movie set at a gas station or convenience store, write Skittles or write a local company and see if they'll give you $500 to put their candy bar on the display, just make it look reality. You know, that's what saves money on production design. So.
For sure, and if you're able to make it look seamless and look natural,
Yeah.
that's always. But I know the thing I can think of when I think of product placement is Sonic, the movie Sonic, for some reason, because they like randomly give like the person a Olive Garden gift card at the end of that movie, and they say, "Here's an Olive Garden gift card."
Yeah. So I mean, like, I would definitely think for indie film, you know, you don't want to be too corporate about it, but if you need some like candy bars and gum at a checkout counter, like, probably helps to use real ones, because if you use fake ones or like blur them out, they can take the audience out of it. So that's kind of a new way of funding. You know, you can also get, you know, people to invest as well, and as long as you're very honest with them that like you may never get this money back, or you might get it back in 10 years. But you know, there are some rich people who just want to like take a loss some years. You'd be surprised at how many films are like, oh no, I need to get rid of $1 million so I don't have to pay more taxes. So like, here, let's just pump money into this thing that's not ever going to make me any money and write it off as a business expense.
Well, that's convenient for the creative or the creator. Yeah, absolutely. I think George Lucas does that, right? Where he just makes his own. Well, he doesn't like do that, but he like makes his own $1 million movies or something like that. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it can help. I mean, I think George Lucas has got the money to self-finance, which, you know, early on, that's not a thing that I would necessarily not recommend doing. Because if you set it up properly, you can get some tax write-offs and really get set up and get your business going. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it. It's kind of like just cobbling it all together to get across the finish line.
Yeah.
So.
Well, is there anything that you would want to promote, or a social media page?
Not really. I mean, come to MTSU, come to MTSU Media Arts. We've got Instagram and Facebook pages. So, you know, we'd love to talk to people who aren't here yet. And if people are here and want to change majors, I'll be happy to talk to them too. For sure. Interested in taking some film electives. So.
Yeah, and we'll link them in the description.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so thank you for being on.
Yes.
What is your name?
My name's Karenna.
Okay, nice to meet you, Karenna.
Nice to meet you.
So what do you do here?
I'm recently changed to a music business major with a minor in audio.
Okay, very nice. Okay, music business. So what got you into music business?
The fact that I just love like live concerts and everything, and like just music in general. I think that like touches everybody in like their own like way. Yeah. And I really want to just know what everything like goes into it. I was originally an audio major, and I think like a lot of the times with audio specifically, it's not the most like personable major, if that makes any sense. Like, you're not going out and like talking to people constantly and like meeting new people and things like that. And I think with music business, I've like gotten to meet people, and I've gotten to do like really cool projects. And I still love audio. I still really want to do that, but I also want to be personable with doing that.
Talking about that, what's your motivation for being in audio?
I think I just always wanted to like make my 12-year-old self think I was cool. I know that's like a crazy thing to say, but like I always like look back and I'm like, would she be proud of me?
That's a good metric. That's a good metric.
And I think a lot of like my friends from like high school, they went to school to be like lawyers and doctors and like engineers and like very much like things that we do need, but I always wanted to be creative, and I always wanted to travel. I always wanted to like maybe go on tour one day. And I think I wanted stability, which there's a lot of like, you can get pretty good stability in music business if you work really hard. Yep. But I didn't want to wake up one day and hate what I do. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
That's a good point. And it's always changing in audio too.
Yeah.
And it keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
And engaging. And I relate to that too because of my creative field and passion. I can't do certain jobs. I could not do engineering. No. Like there's too many repetitive things, numbers, can't do them.
No, it was hard, and I am dyslexic, so like being oh my god,
sorry, no, I didn't,
oh my god, yes. So like I grew up like being dyslexic, and like I was never told I couldn't do anything, but like you are definitely like persuaded not to do things. And I'm like, I couldn't be a lawyer. I couldn't do it. I'm not reading 30 pages a day, but like I always loved hands-on stuff. I love live music. I love like doing big projects. I love doing stuff like that, and I think audio and like music business, like I really like PR, like public relations is really cool to me. Just things like that. I think like just doing hands-on stuff that isn't necessarily like read a book and then you recite the book, if that makes any sense.
That's a good point. And talking about career, what are you gonna do after? What is your plan?
So that's kind of up in the air right now. I really want to go into touring.
Okay.
I already like work for a production company. Like I'm about to start working at a production company, which is gonna be great. But it depends. I think I want to do like front of house audio.
Okay.
So like just the soundboard or something like that. Or even if any job they're willing to give me on tour,
Yeah.
I'd do it, if that makes any sense. That's just who I am. And I think like maybe I'm kind of the type of person that like, I know like so many people who are like great at what they do.
Yep.
And I would like to do maybe like production management where you like hire on people for a tour would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like being able to like help create like things like that would be
No,
really
for sure. That's a cool job to have. Too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So where can people find you?
I am on Instagram, not Karenna.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spelled weird. You may not find it.
Thank you for coming on. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Thank you for sharing a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming on. What is your name?
Sneh Gandhi.
Okay. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And what do you do here on campus?
Well, I'm a double major English and philosophy.
Okay.
I read a lot.
You really, I can imagine. Well, with those two majors that
Yes.
double the reading.
Yes. I think a lot. I love talking with people.
Yeah.
People with open mind.
Yeah.
I write poems in my free time. I love music.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums me up.
Well, that
who
sounds
I
like
am,
a full life, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what got you into both of those majors?
A lot of reading, a lot of thinking.
Okay.
Life, tragedy.
Yeah.
Problems
Okay.
in life. Seeing a lot of things at a young age.
Mm.
Reading is like, oh, I'm not the only one. Writing is like, oh yeah, for the future generation, it's like, this is for you.
Yeah.
So reading and writing gave me an opportunity. The skill to read and write both gave me an opportunity to major in English and philosophy.
That's such an interesting motivation to have to give back to the next generation.
Yes.
Especially from what you've gotten from the ones before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very cool. In terms of a career, what are you thinking?
Well, I do like, I would love to be a professor.
Okay.
I would love to pursue PhD.
Okay.
And just inspire the next generation to get something from generations of books we have.
Yeah.
It goes back to 3,000 years from now. So from all that we have. So there's always a place for everybody.
True, and it's important to preserve the time that you lived in, you know, because it lets you kind of, you know this more than I do probably, it lets you kind of observe where people are in that point and what they were struggling with.
Exactly.
But often what you find is people struggle with the same things because we're human.
Yes.
And I think obviously depending on the context of the generation you're born in, but there's so many things that we struggle with as humans that we've always struggled with.
Yes, like the struggle of Odysseus in Odyssey is the same struggle that some of us have today. So when you write, you leave something for people to read after you write. Your experience perhaps, or whatever is in your head. Mind is bigger than anything in the world, I think. So that leaves an inspiration, like a free inspiration, like that footprint is like, oh, I really relate to this author, for example. I really relate to this singer, for example.
Yeah.
And that's why I think literature is so important, because if I didn't read, I don't know where I would be, what I would be doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, literature, although I don't read as much as I should, literature is very important.
Yes.
You know, and like you said, it kind of teaches the next generation, like, what they were going through. And I think, you know, I will say this. I think that in a weird way, it's kind of reassuring.
Yes.
Because it knows, it lets us know that, you know, like, we're going through the same stuff. Like, we can look at how the last generation handled it and adjust, either choose to do that or go a different way, go a different direction with it. But, we always have that to reference as long as we keep documenting.
Yes, the simple struggle of, the story of how Mahatma Gandhi was inspired by Jesus Christ is turn your cheek, non-violence principle, basically. I think that is a great example of how that principle of non-violence started with Christ, perhaps, at least in my knowledge, it started with Christ. And it rolled on to Tolstoy later on in the 19th century Russia. Tolstoy was really inspired by the non-violence principle of Christ. And that rolled on to Gandhi, and that inspires me today with non-violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Well, how can people find you? Do you have Instagram or?
Yes, I do have Instagram. I post a lot of my poems there. It's Sneh Gandhi Official. SNEH is how you spell my first name.
Yeah.
Gandhi as in Mahatma Gandhi. GANDHI Official. Yeah. It's a really pretentious name. Yeah, I know. But what do you expect from a philosophy major?
It comes with the territory.
I guess, yeah. So, I do have a private account there, and I love when people can follow me and see my poems.
And I will say, where do you get your inspiration from with your poems? Through other literature, you could imagine?
Voice-wise, tone-wise, yes. Like, recently, I've been really inspired by Beat Generation in literature, beatniks, as they call it, Jack Kerouac and like Allen Ginsberg. People from late 50s, early 60s, like pre-hippie era. And my voice changes over time as I get inspired by different literatures.
Voice in the writing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's one of the inspirations. Other is human struggle. Going back to the same thing. We all struggle with the smallest things sometimes.
True.
For me, for the longest, it has been grief. Thankfully, everybody did not go through grief, and which is great. But when they do, they have my poems to relate to. So, because we all are gonna go through grief once in our life, at least.
Yeah, for sure. That's part of the human experience.
Really amazing thing. And sometimes it's just by being hurt from love.
Yeah.
Because love is a hurting thing.
Yeah.
My favorite song, one of my favorite songs is, well, I'm a big Ed Sheeran fan, but I can talk about his songs, any hidden songs, anytime you want.
Yeah.
You might have never heard it, but his really famous song is called Photograph.
I think if I'm listening to the song, I'll probably remember it.
It goes, loving can hurt sometimes, but it is the only thing that I know.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think that is the line that captures the whole idea of why I write poems.
It's good.
Because love hurts. Grief is love. I think nature is love, perhaps, if we think more deeply about it. Like on a hot summer day, here we are in the sun. Some people like sun. I hate sun.
You hate the sun.
But it's still love, because we did go through 6 months of winter after all. Yeah.
True. It feels it's you get so much life out of nature. I think, and like I'm a Christian, so I believe God created all this for us to connect with too. So,
yes.
But so thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. It was a nice change of pace from what we've had on. So,
thank you. Thanks for having me. I don't do things like this often, so this is an experience indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Well, thank you for coming on. All right, so let's get rolling. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it in this busy season of finals. What is your name?
My name is Sydney Harris.
Okay, nice to meet you, Sydney.
Nice to meet you.
And what do you do? What do you major in? What do you do on campus?
Okay, I'm a first-time freshman here at MTSU, and I'm currently studying media management for more so the music side of things. Okay. I grew up in Nashville, so I'm really immersed in the whole country music side and just music in general. Yeah. Music City.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well come to MTSU, hone my skills here, keep it in the state. Why leave Music City when that's what I want to do? So yeah, I plan to graduate from here and really just have a good time while I am here, find as many things related to my major and that interests me as possible. And I feel like MTSU has definitely served me well. I'm a part of student government right now, and I will also be starting to work here on their campus for their daycare. So I feel like MTSU has been,
So wait, where is their daycare at?
And Campbell Early Learning Center to anyone who has small children who live on campus or are around the area. It's open to anybody. So it's just really fun, and I thought it was something that would interest me, and it does.
Well, sounds like you're in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so
I am.
And this might be like a generalization to ask, but like, what's your favorite?
I'd have to say right now, probably my video production class.
Okay.
We get to go out, and during our class period, we get to go out and film and interact with some of the students and use them as extras. Yeah. And our classmates are also a part of our projects as well. Okay. So I just feel like probably my video production class, it's really a hands-on class. And I wasn't expecting that coming in as a freshman. Yeah.
So is it basic video production?
Yeah, it's basic video production.
I took that online, and that was a bad decision because I missed out on like the experience of working in that class. Mm-hmm. Now I've been doing video for like 5-6 years now. Okay. But I wish I would have taken it in person, because I feel like just from you talking about it too, it's like I've seen people have so much fun in that class.
It definitely is. Yeah. Just aside from like what you get to do and the assignments that you're doing, I feel like it also takes a certain professor and a certain personality type to really, because video production is not easy, even basic video production. No. So no, it's not. So to have someone there who is very lighthearted, like Professor Adam Parsons, is someone that I can really like go to, ask any questions, and not feel like he's someone who's telling me to do things, but more so showing me.
That's a great attribute for a teacher to have.
Yeah.
I feel like, and we were talking about earlier just the impact that so many professors have had.
They do.
They're important, and especially the good ones, you will remember them for a long time. I can imagine. I already do.
Remember him.
Yeah, for sure. So like, career goals. What would be your top, like, boom, I want to hit this in life?
Career goals would be, for the most part, again, working in the music industry. I wouldn't have to stay in Nashville to do that, of course, but I'm also I'm a junior co-chair of a startup music program, empowerment media program. Okay. And we basically help underserved children in the Nashville area with things like music workshops, learning Adobe Premiere skills, and just helping them get their certifications. Yeah. If it's anything that they want to do in the entertainment industry, then we're all in for that. Yeah. So I feel like just probably still sticking with that and helping, but also doing my own thing, finding people to work with in the music industry. I've worked with a couple of local artists, and I probably want to be like maybe an artist manager, and then move up probably to maybe a CEO of a record label. But for right now, I'm at EMP Group, and I love it.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you're situated well here.
Yes, yeah. I am.
So where can people find you on social media?
It's just Sydney.
Okay.
That's my Instagram. It's just Sydney.
It's just Sydney.
Yeah, it's just Sydney. Okay. Yeah. I did that because for these reasons exactly. Like, if you do want to find me, it's just Sydney. If you want to find me on campus, hi, I'm here. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So you can find me with student government. You can find me in the student union. You can find me walking around. You can find me doing anything at any time. I'm not that hard to find.
That's great. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, thank you for coming on. What's your name?
I appreciate it. Andrew.
Andrew, nice to meet you.
Andrew Shark. What's your name, man?
My name is Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah. What's your last name like?
Rawson. It's not as flashy as Aaron.
Aaron Rawson. That's cool though.
So what do you do here on campus?
So I'm a criminal justice major with a minor in environmental sciences. Okay. So essentially my intentions are to be a game warden. So came here just to study that and just use some of the tools that they have here. Yeah. You know, to build on that.
Why game warden? Like specifically?
So I've been hunting and fishing my whole life. Okay. And that's kind of what my dad raised me to do, was hunting and fishing. So like, I'm talking about at the age of like, maybe 5, I was out there just walking with him while we were hunting. And then fishing also, doing all that. So just learning how to do that myself and being able to teach others how to do that would be like a big blessing, because it's like, hunting is a really essential thing to our environment. So it's like, if you're teaching people how to take care of your environment, then your environment's gonna be better.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's a good motivation to have. I mean, you have to have that motivation in that job. But that's crazy. So when do you graduate?
So I'm 2026. I'm supposed to graduate May.
Okay.
We're praying May. So
okay.
Not the best semester, but we're praying for May.
Yeah. Well, that's a year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling about that?
They say it goes faster than what you expect, and it really does. People don't acknowledge that. Like freshman year, I remember we're doing tours. Now all my classes are just straight papers.
Yeah.
I'm writing straight papers. Like I think I wrote last week, I wrote 16 pages.
Dang.
And then this week, I have an assignment I have to write 8. Like as soon as you finish this.
Dang.
As soon as you finish this.
Wow. That's crazy. I hate paper so much. And being in media, our projects are more so like about that, about media. So
literally.
But I do not envy you at all when it comes to those papers.
Criminal justice. They didn't tell me that when I get the criminal justice major, all I'm gonna do is write papers. They didn't tell me that. I didn't think I was gonna do that. Now I do. Now 100%. I wish I didn't.
You're in it. You're in it right
now.
Oh
yeah. I'm already deep there. You feel me? So it's like 3 years in. So it's like you ain't got nothing else to do.
For sure. Well, what would you say is your like career goal as a game warden?
Just really so as a game warden, you get to also see like if somebody catches like the biggest state record fish, you get to go see that.
Okay.
So my goal, of course my goal would be to see some crazy things like that, see like the big deers and stuff like that. But honestly, I think just starting a program for the kids back home, like not to sound so cliche and stuff like that, but I definitely want to start a program for the kids at home because everybody has a different idea on hunting and fishing and doing some of the country things like that. They think it's so like, they think it's a different way.
Yeah.
And it's really not. It's nothing you can't put a race or a limit on hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing is just something like a sport almost.
It's good.
So it's like I want to have people who would be scared to do that or just feel like they're gonna be judged doing that. I'd rather have somebody like just push them out there.
For sure, man. That's an excellent motivation too to have. Well, dang. And I fished a couple times.
Really?
I'm not the biggest fisherman.
Man, I'll take you. I'm taking my friends fishing. My LB's fishing.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, I caught a rockmouth bass.
Ooh,
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Caught one. I'm from Columbia, Tennessee, so it's
I've been down there.
The Duck River is where now it doesn't seem like the healthiest river.
Yeah.
So I didn't eat that fish, but
yeah, that's the thing. Also, just learning how to hunt and clean them, like that was one thing, and how to cook them. Like that was some things I would just love to teach.
For sure. Well, I know good and well I caught it, but I don't know how to cook that thing.
You see?
Like, put a stick in it and on a fire. I don't think that's really how you go about
Everybody
it.
says that, but
it's more process to that.
Yeah, it's definitely like my dad taught me this. He said if you can teach a man how to like catch your own fish and how to cook it, then you just taught a man or teach him how to fish, you just taught a man how to eat for the rest of his life.
For sure. That's a good point. And we need that too, especially in society when we're like so focused on just going to the grocery store and not really preparing anything.
Man, it's terrible. Like you go to Publix and you see everything, and it's like so tempting.
True.
But you feel me? You can get it for cheaper and a little more labor yourself. But who would want to?
True. Dang. Well, how can people like find out about you, like in terms of social media or whatever you want to plug?
So I'm a part of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm a part of Alpha Kappa Psi Professional Business Fraternity Incorporated. So if you definitely are in those, you should probably be able to find me. But if not, I'm on Instagram at 3xDrew.
3xDrew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you for coming on. What's your name?
Thank you for having me. I'm Kat Riel.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what do you do here on campus?
So right now I'm coming back to school for entertainment journalism.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. So what got you into entertainment journalism?
I felt like it was the right thing for me to do because I've had years of promotional modeling experience and I do like commercial acting on the side. And I love everything to deal with cameras.
Okay.
And I'm a talker.
Yeah. Well, so am I, as you can see with a bright orange sign that says my podcast name out here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Stands out.
What do you find the most that you enjoy about being specifically in journalism?
As much as I felt like the researching was tedious, I felt like that part I really had to hone in on.
Okay.
Because nowadays, you know, there's so much that people just take at face value, and people lose, you know, sight of the importance of the research side of it, the due diligence side of it. So I felt like that part was just really important, and I'm having fun with the research side of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love camera work, so I was like, that part, like, I know I'll always like, but I think something new for me, I love trying that. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's cool too, because a lot of people would say that research is not their favorite. But the people who are into it, I know who are into it, really love research. Like they get down into the nitty gritty of where some sources are and how to cite it properly, and even from a journalist perspective, like the story and making sure you get a fully well-rounded piece. I admire that, but like I said, I'm one of those people who doesn't like research that much.
Oh.
I am coming out of college. I'm a senior, so I'm done next week.
Okay, nice.
Thank you. I'm excited, and the thing I'm the most excited about is no more papers, and that means
I hear you.
Yeah,
I can understand.
What would you say in terms of your career is a career goal that you want to reach in the future?
I'll be bigger than Connie Chung. I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, I want to be able to just, aside from bringing life to journalism, I want to be able to connect people. I really like and admire human connection. Might be because I moved so far away from everybody. I'm not from Tennessee.
Okay.
But
Where
I
are you
love
from?
so I'm born in Hawaii, live half my life there, and the other half California.
Okay.
So I miss my friends and family, but I'm a social butterfly, so I just I want to be able to connect people. Yeah. And so I chose, instead of political journalism or any other journalism, I chose specifically entertainment. Yeah. Because I miss that, the human connection part of it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm a little interested too. Entertainment journalism, what does that cover?
Basically, think like e-news.
Okay, yeah.
Things like that, you know, interviewing on red carpet, or doing, honestly, I'm still learning, doing things like shows. Okay, yeah. With celebrities, or just in that realm of entertainment.
But I thank you for elaborating on that, because one thing I didn't know too at MTSU was how many different types of journalism you can kind of focus on.
Yeah, it's broad.
There's a very broad. You mentioned like political journalism, and we had a political journalist on a while ago, and so it's interesting to hear different stories and different sides of even possibly the same like broader program. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot, but it's fun to like be able to have this resource in Tennessee for people who are going into media and everything like that.
For sure.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you said that you came back to school after working.
Yes. So I got my first degree in communication, but I didn't really do much with it. I worked, and then motherhood took over, and then I decided I wanted to go back to school to do something further than communication. So I chose entertainment journalism. Okay. And then hopefully I can go back to school again later. Yeah. I spaced it out. I'm just a forever learner, but I want to go back for medical.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just so different. Yeah. My advisor thought that is so weird. Normally journalists go from journalism to law. Yeah. But I hate law. Yeah. And so I wanted to come back for medical, or after this journey, my next journey, hopefully.
Yeah. It's medical. Do you know specifically where in the medical field?
So I've always liked nutrition, but right now, for whatever odd reason, I have an interest in gastroenterology. Okay. Probably because of what's going on with my mom's health and things like that. It's kind of influenced me to go that route. But I don't know, even just being an internal medicine family practitioner, just to be taking care of my family.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
I have a lot of anxiety, I guess you could say. I have to know everything.
Well, you know, that's good to have that motivation of, you know, I want to learn this so I can help my family and people in general too.
Yeah, my friends, my community, you know.
And you mentioned gastroenterology, right? So I have Crohn's disease. So that is like right there in that field. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's been an interesting journey, but I appreciate my doctors at Vanderbilt. They've been fantastic.
That's awesome.
And I'm in remission. And it's been such a blessing to get the care. And I do hope that people who aren't able to get certain insurances are able to figure out a way to get the treatment, because it's expensive. It's really expensive. And that's it. But all that to say, thank you for being on.
Thank you for
I appreciate
having me.
it. And where can people find you?
So I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And X, former Twitter. Everything is just cat_Riel, KAT_RIEL, except for TikTok because someone took my username.
Oh my gosh, how dare they?
2 underscores.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dang. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the pod.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your name?
My name's Whitney.
Okay, nice to meet you. Well, I have you in a class, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah. I don't believe I know. I have you in a class all semester. That being said, so why are you here at MTSU?
My choice for MTSU, I know it's very like arts focused, and in high school, honestly, my whole life growing up, I've just loved the arts, and I know MTSU is very arts focused.
Yeah.
It's also like a 3-hour drive from home, and I knew I didn't want to be surrounded by people who I went to high school with because I hated the people I went to high school with.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
And so MTSU was kind of like a distance away where it's not too far from home, so if I need to go back, I can, but it's also like far enough away where no one from my high school is here.
Yeah.
And so it really made me branch out and meet new people.
Well, you know, I'm from Columbia, Tennessee, and that's like an hour west of here, and there's barely anybody that comes from my hometown.
Yeah.
So
most West Tennessee people don't come here because I'm like right outside of Memphis.
Yeah, so they go to like Memphis State and
or Martin.
Or Martin. Yeah, I had a friend that went to Martin. So that's interesting. So why specifically did you decide to get into video and film?
I started acting like my sophomore year, I think, and I knew I wanted to continue acting, and I figured if I can continue acting, but I can do like behind the scenes stuff, like kind of as a backup if I don't make it on screen, I can kind of be behind the screen.
Okay, that's good. So, and what year are you?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman. Okay, so you have a little bit to go.
Yes.
Yep. So even still, at this point, what is your goals in terms of your career? Do you have an idea yet?
I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's kind of flip-flopped back and forth a lot, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, so
it's kind of still up in the air.
Find it as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you talked about you're gonna start a podcast, right? You're gonna start a podcast. That's cool.
Coming soon.
I like podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I have one, I guess, but it's fun just to get to talk to people.
Yeah.
I travel to the guests, so I get to see their craft and what they do. Like whether it's a blacksmith or like a theater manager. It's a wide range of people that I get to talk to, and it's always fun because it's different. Now, obviously, podcasts are different too, so I don't know if you're probably not going to travel to the guest and all that. Well, you'll see, I guess, but
we'll see.
Yeah, so it's fantastic, and thank you for coming on. Where can people find you?
I'm on socials, all of them,
Okay.
under It's Me Whitney with the Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for being on.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you, sir, for being on the pod. What's your name?
Mario. My name is Mario.
All right. Nice to meet you. Even though I've already met you before, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that a little. So.
Aaron, right?
Aaron, yes.
Yes.
So why are you here on campus?
I got a project that I gotta, turn in. So
okay. A project.
I was going to the library.
Okay.
To print that out.
So what's your major then? You said
political science.
All right.
What's yours?
Mine is interactive media.
Oh.
Yeah,
The interactive kind.
The interactive kind, not the non-interactive.
Not the lackadaisical kind.
No, not the lackadaisical kind. No.
Say that again. Say that 3 times fast.
Lackadaisical.
You got it.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Phonics are on point right now. 4 hours.
Duolingo.
4 hours in. Duolingo. Yeah. So to give some context, we ran against each other in at our political campaign management class, and I was named Ronald Shaw, and you were Abu Muhammad Goldstein.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain? Because I just want this for my personal stuff. Can you explain what that character,
for the archives?
Yeah.
Abu was an indigenous character. He came from Ethiopia and also Egypt, dual citizenship. Well, actually quadruple citizenship. He was a Jew as well. And he was running for 5th Congressional District of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Along with Ronald Shaw.
Now,
rich racist man who loves hats.
Yeah, you kept calling me racist. All I had was an American hat on. Like,
it wasn't really American, let's be honest. It was more.
It was sold at Walmart.
It was more sensitive than that.
It was more, okay. Well, it had stars on it, but it was.
I don't like stars.
You don't like? Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. Stars are kind of sharp edged.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
weapons.
Kind of aggressive.
Ninjas use them.
They do use them. Ninja stars. Yeah.
It's in the name.
It's in the name. Yeah.
I better be scared of them. Ninjas.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah. It's okay. So we had an hour-long debate yesterday against each other. Yeah. And it got kind of heated.
It wasn't heated. It was fun.
It was fun. It was fun, but
I really liked it though.
It was heated in the sense like the characters were getting into it.
Yeah.
Because we both play like fairly crazy characters, like
insane.
Yeah. And I might insert a clip or two in through here, but it was fun though. Like I had a good time.
Yeah. If all classes were like that, I'd really enjoy school.
True. Yeah. I honestly,
school wouldn't seem like such a waste of time.
I came to that class too, and Kent Seiler, who we had on the podcast a couple episodes ago, or this last episode, fantastic professor. You go into that class, and you don't realize you're doing work.
Yeah.
You
and the days you do work is just, hey, what do you think we should do?
Yeah, for sure. But it's all like with a purpose too.
Right.
Like, and you learn. I've learned so much from that.
Lots
class.
of interactive media.
Lots of interactive media. It's right up my alley. Yeah.
Right up.
Yeah, we made promos against each other, and I'm a videographer, so I just like.
Oh, that's why you guys was so good. Okay, now it makes sense. Because I was wondering, like this.
Yeah,
it looks
we
professional.
Hired a firm actually to it was all by our doing. Yeah, we wanted to go hard.
I like it. You're a real businessman.
I'm a real businessman. I graduate tomorrow, so or not tomorrow, next week. Graduate next week. Feels like tomorrow. No, I graduate next week, and I'm going to go straight from that to doing freelance. So that's the plan. But what made you get into political science?
I've always been kind of interested in politics, and I was in computer science before this, but I don't know. The longer I did it, the more I realized I can just do that on my own and get whatever certificates. Yeah.
But you enjoy this so much more now, though, right? Okay. Well, what year of school are you?
I'm a third year.
Third year, so junior. All right, so you graduate next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So throughout the years, you just kind of decided on this.
I mean, truth be told, I don't even know. At this point, yeah, because I just want to finish. But at the same time, part of me just wants to get a trade.
It's good. It's a good idea.
Might be an electrician. You might call me up.
True.
Hey, I got some wires.
You got some
that
wires.
Are frayed.
So
come fix them.
From right now, you can code and run a campaign, and also.
You think I can run a campaign?
Well, I mean, you might need some help.
I definitely need some help. Unless I can be a reformed pirate, then.
Yeah, like Abu. Yeah, like your candidate. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Abu was. What if I got to play him again? But he was something like that.
Yeah, true. You got to break out the character again sometime. They have to keep that in your pocket right there. Mm-hmm. Dang, man. Well, where can people find you? On Instagram or?
I don't really do that. Yeah, I don't really do it. So at this point, I'm just, just a guy on the internet.
It's okay. Like on Reddit and like 4chan and stuff. Or?
Okay, don't put me on that level. I'm like a level above 4chan. I still use Instagram, but I don't like go into new things. Like I'm not going into TikTok.
Okay.
What was that? My girlfriend was telling me something. Be Real? Is that
the one where you take a picture?
Never got into that one.
No.
Couldn't understand it. Yeah. Felt like it was a government psyop.
kind of like taking pictures of both.
Where are you right now?
Yeah, where are you right now?
Show me where you are.
From both angles of
right
your
now.
phone. Yeah.
There's a notification.
And
you
have
better
to do
listen.
It. Yeah, that does kind of sound government-y. That's a good point. Well, thank you, sir, for being on. It was fun to get to finally talk not in character. Okay, well, thank you for coming on the pod.
Of course.
What's your name?
So my name is Krystal.
Nice to meet you, Krystal.
Nice to meet you as well.
So what's your major here?
I am an animation major.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Constantly on the grind.
Yeah, and I see you guys in the same building, like just constantly working. How's that like in the computer lab, constantly doing hours? I can imagine it gets tiring.
Depends on what kind of schedule you're in and what all you got. Half of us are nocturnal at this point and trying not to be. Yeah. It is an uphill battle.
Yes. I don't envy that. I think, but honestly, like it's cool to have a product like you guys have where you get to make something like a short film or just a short animation that's yours too, that you can like claim and you said, I made this, I put in the hours, I learned this thing. And I created this piece of art that's moving, which is so much harder than still art, I can imagine.
Oh, however many hours you put into a still art, multiply that by like 4 or 5.
Dang, that's crazy. By the way, there is a fire truck fastly approaching.
Oh, I wonder if that's for the elevator in the building.
I think it's for the elevator.
Trapped in there right now, guys.
Are we?
It's definitely for the elevator.
I don't think we're in the way. Are we? No?
No,
I don't think so.
Looks like they're going through the checkout side of the building.
Okay. Well, let's continue. That's a funny little thing. Funny we're recording. So how did you get into animation?
Well, sophomore year of high school, I was in a digital arts track, and my teacher was just like, "Hey, I built these super beefy computers. Does anyone want to try out 3D?" And I'm just like, you know what? Why the hell not?
Yeah.
And it's just been, as they say, downhill from there.
Oh, downhill. Dang. Well, at least you're honest, I guess. And but that's cool. Like we talked about so much today, talking about professors and teachers in general, just giving people opportunities to learn and grow that will change the course of their career.
Oh, yeah.
That is a big part of being about a professor, a good professor. And I've had so many experiences with great professors that have done that for me.
Oh yeah, we have 5 higher level professors and then like 2 or 3 adjuncts who we typically see, and most of us really love them. Yeah. So like they're some of the adjuncts where we look at all the newbies and like, take him if you can. And then, well, for the higher levels, we don't typically get much of a choice.
Yeah.
But
dang. Well, what would you say is like a career high for you? What would you want it to be?
Ooh. Personally, the way I'm hoping to go in, I want to go into the side that you don't notice unless you're actively looking for it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Interesting. So you just kind of see what comes up and what opportunities you get.
Because I'm aiming to go into background design.
Okay.
So the type of thing that you don't really notice until something's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes I think of it. It might be cliche to bring up, but like the Spider-Verse movies and seeing the level of detail that's even in the backgrounds in those movies. It's an art in its own. Absolutely.
So the only reason I want people to know me is, oh, hey, this background is extremely detailed with all these little knickknacks that tie into other things.
Oh, yeah. So there's like meaning to that. That's smart, and connections to the story, I can imagine. Very nice.
There is a lot of thought that goes into building out backgrounds for games, movies, anything.
Yeah. Well, and it's a key component too, to tie in the world together. Yeah. And it's often, I can imagine it's often like forgotten too, like you were saying, like it's not something that you notice initially because you're focused on the character and the story.
Yep.
But without those, you wouldn't necessarily have a story.
And you know what? That's the whole purpose.
That's the whole purpose.
We're missed until something's either wrong or something's really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. Where can people find you? On Instagram or?
I don't really have any social media. I just kind of exist in the internet.
Okay.
But but I do have a professional LinkedIn that I'm starting to try to populate.
Okay.
So just Krystal Gowan on LinkedIn. That's about it.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Of course.
This part was a little overexposed, but we made it work.
Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Yeah,
and
thank
being
you.
the last guest.
Awesome.
That's the last guest.
Save the best for last.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So what is your name for the people?
I'm Bo, and I'm a media management major here.
Okay.
At MTSU with a mass communications minor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you decide on media management?
Well, so I actually came into college doing video and film production.
Okay.
And I realized, you can attest, I was just struggling with this right here. I'm not great with technology.
Okay.
And I learned that soon on, but I have a passion for storytelling.
Okay.
And the business of filmmaking and TV and movies and things like that. So I pivoted to more of a behind the scenes kind of producer business role, which would be media management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, so like you talked about going into video and film, is that what you love to do in general? Like, is that what you're into?
Yeah, for sure. Well, of course, like I love watching movies.
Yeah.
I love watching shows, discussing it with my friends. And growing up, I always wanted to be like a director.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is they are so passionate, not saying I'm not, but they are so passionate about a story that's more kind of intimate to them that they spend years developing that story.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to be the guy that hears the story and goes, I will give you the resources to make that. I believe in you. I want to make sure that other people's have their stories told.
Yeah.
And if that means working up to, 5 movies at a time or something like that, I'd rather do that than be not stuck, but, with just one project for several years. I want my hand in a lot of different projects.
That makes sense. And that's needed too, I think, in terms of that process, because you hear a lot about the people who want to make a movie, but not a lot about the people who give the okay to make the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big role that I can imagine not as many people are probably going for, but it's just as important.
Yeah. And I think we need more people like that in the business, because so many of those behind the scenes guys, they're money guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have the passion for film as much as the creatives. So if you have the people who are actually doing the finances, like right now Warner Brothers, they run that like it's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
They're canceling movies for tax returns and things like that. There's a really good show out right now with Seth Rogen, the Studio.
On Hulu? Is that what it is?
Apple TV,
okay.
I believe. And it shows how he does know about movies, he does like movies, but like it's about finances first and then creativity.
Yeah.
And we need people to push the creativity.
Bro, absolutely. I don't know why that's not as common as it should be.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's just like if I'm into creative stuff, I'm gonna go strictly creative and not necessarily go into like the management business side of it.
Right.
That's probably what it is. But anyways, so what is you would consider like your career if you hit this, like this position, this money amount,
right?
Like, what are you thinking in terms of career goals?
So it's funny. I talked about people. I wish they would go to bat more for creatives and whatnot. And one of the companies that I would like to see do that is Disney.
Okay.
Whether you love them or hate them, they have their hand is in every pot. Everyone is connected to Disney. And I actually interned at Disney my last semester. And while there, I was able to hear all these conversations of people who work not just at the parks, but also on these productions and whatnot. And they talked about the importance of finances, right? But it's also making sure that you do something original and you push new storytelling, something that's creative and whatnot.
Yeah.
So my goal is to go into that industry. I mean, of course, the title I would, prefer is producer, but you have to work your way up from assistant to executive to producer. But really just anyone in the business who goes to bat for the guys like, hey, let's go with the story we haven't heard before,
for sure,
as opposed to something that's been told over and over.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dang. Yeah. Well, in terms of schooling, where are you? Like in?
Yeah, that's always funny when I tell people, because I say I'm a third year senior And what I mean by that is I'm not in my third year of being a senior, but that it's my third year in college and I'm a senior.
And you're a senior.
And I'm a senior.
Okay.
So I graduate this December.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And then, I don't graduate tomorrow like you.
Like tomorrow, tomorrow. Yeah.
But I do, once I graduate, I'm planning on probably going back to Disney or some other company or something like that.
Is there like a memory attached to Disney, or just like you like Disney in general?
Oh man. Well, while working there, it was a bit hard to find free time being a full-time student and also working there full-time. Yeah. But on the days off, when you're able to go to the parks with your friends for free, that was the benefit of it. But you just like, it's so crazy, just like on a random day, just like, this is November 5th, other people are in school. Yeah. And it's just this surreal moment of like, there's so much stuff going on in the world. And like, I get to just be here with my friends, like one of the most expensive places in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe like nothing in particular, but just the feeling of like, how incredibly lucky am I to be here right now?
Yeah. And part of a company that's been doing it for 100 years now, right?
And constantly, new voices, creative voices are trying to, hopefully the young blood are able to, help it adapt and not die down with other companies. Yeah. I wanted to congratulate you. You won an award, didn't you?
I did. I won the Outstanding Senior in Interactive Media.
That's why I followed you.
Oh, really?
Because I saw you go up on that stage.
Well, did you win an award too?
I also won an award.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. I'll shake your hand. Interactive Media.
Interactive Media, yeah.
Media management.
That's right.
Yes.
It's probably the closest major, maybe. We're that I was at independent studies or something. I don't know. Like, it's in terms of majors, we take a lot of similar classes. I can imagine. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Well, thank you for your congratulations, and also congratulations on you as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All you accomplished, both about to graduate, and also your award.
Yeah.
So, and where can people find you?
Bo Bryan. I don't really use a whole lot of social media, but I have an Instagram. You can request a follow. It'll maybe take a couple of months for me to confirm it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also want to say, this is a really cool thing you got set up here. The production and everything it really impressed me when I went on your page and followed you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing video for like 5 years, and so like just trying to get better.
Yeah.
And stepping it up.
I think it shows. I think the level of quality in it. Yeah.
Bro, thank you so much. That's a huge compliment, especially coming from a guy who's in
I keep an eye out for talent.
That's the job.
That. Yeah. So
well, that's what your job's gonna be.
I'll hit you up one day.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Hey, I just wanted to sit down and say thank you. Thank you for listening to these past 8 episodes. That's crazy to think it's been 8. This is a capstone project. So this is a capstone project that I've been wanting to do and had planned in some form to do when I began college, and now I'm graduating. This is something that will go beyond a capstone project though, and this is something I'm going to continue. Just want to say thank you as well to the people who have supported me through these past 4 years. I want to thank my mom and my dad, my sister, Krystal, my girlfriend. There's so many more. There's so many more people. I'm eternally grateful for you. Even you watching, I'm eternally grateful for you, because you guys are the reason why I do it. I do not think I would ever get this far in terms of my ambitions, my skill, if it weren't for these people that I just go through my head that I'm thinking about in my life that have supported me. And like I said, I'm eternally grateful. Like I said, it's not going anywhere though. Convos with Aaron is continuing after this episode. This is not the final episode at all. I want to make hundreds, if not thousands of these. And I find it fun and fulfilling. And this is my life purpose. I feel a calling to this. So I'm going to continue to work hard at growing this platform. But I appreciate you guys, because you guys are the base. You guys can say that you've been with me like from the beginning, and I appreciate that. Like I say in every episode, we want guests. We want new guests. We want to fill out the whole summer full of guests, so that we don't even have a worry that we're going to miss a week because of a guest or something like that. I would love to have guests on. So you can submit a guest or be a guest at convoswithaaron@gmail.com. We would love to have you, have a little dialogue. And like always, I go to the guest and it's just a blast. You should, if you're thinking about submitting yourself or somebody, do it. Yeah, thank you. I can't stop saying thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And yeah, look out for more episodes coming and some exciting things. I'm not stopping. The train is continuing to chug. The train chug? Does a train chug?